Oh, so video games is a little different because a lot of times you don't even get to see any action on the screen. You just have lines, and they'll say if it's a fight scene for, let's say, Dynasty Warriors, there's tons of that. You know, if you're attack and getting hit and all this stuff. So it might be you'll have light attack, medium attack, heavy attack. So they'll start with the light attack, and you have to do it 3 different ways, and you just make it up. You know, just do 3 different things. You know, you know, just think of you just think of whatever comes to your mind to do it. You know, and then same thing with medium, and then you do heavy, and then also the blows when you're getting hit, and then dying stuff. You know, just all kinds of crazy things. But it's weird when you actually see it and what they use. You know, sometimes they'll use the oddest things that you didn't think they were used. You just did it off, you know, to be imaginative. And sometimes they'll use it, which is kind of cool. Like for Marvel vs. Capcom, sometimes I look at it, I'm shocked how they used it and how they put it in with my character. Which one did you play it?
I did.
Which one do you think? I don't think you'll guess. I'll give you 3 guesses. Come on. Three characters. Which? And it wasn't She-Hulk.
Oh. All right.
You know how you get to pick 3 characters when you fight?
Phoenix Wright.
Not Phoenix Wright. Now he was. I'll give you a hint. He was in both of them. He wasn't an added character in the Ultimate.
Oh, okay. Captain America.
No, not Captain America. He's a big guy. That's a hint.
Beautiful Joe.
Yeah.
Really?
You're a real hero? For real? Yeah. Goodness always triumphs. So they say. That kind of thing. Crazy. And I was shocked I got that one. I didn't know why they called me in for that character. But what I had to do with that one was listen. They wanted it more, because there were 2 other guys who had done Beautiful Joe. One for the anime, one for the video game. And I guess they couldn't get a hold of one of them. I don't know the story. But, so I was fortunate to get the game. And what they did was they kind of wanted him to match the Japanese guy. So when I was in the studio, I would hear the Japanese guy. But he's a little deeper, I guess. But so I kind of had to match a little bit of what he did onto the English version. But again, when I've seen the game and played myself, it's kind of weird to see where, yeah, that's the weird thing. Yeah. That, you know, the weirdest thing was ever doing my first voiceover and then hearing my voice come out of a character. That was like, oh my God, it's freaky. You know, that's my voice coming out of that guy. That was really strange. And then when knowing that people play, like if I'm an avatar in a game, that I'm running around and biting things and riding chocobos, and yeah, it's pretty bizarre. But I love it. It's a great. I mean, when I'm doing it, I love it. And sometimes it's a lot of stress. Sometimes you feel like you're, you know, under the wire, you know, because you want to do a great job. And you'll have a director, you'll have sometimes a producer, especially video games, because they have like a certain vision. And sometimes they will like nitpick, you know, because they want to get a line a certain way. And so you'll do it a certain way. Okay, now try it like this. And you do it. Okay, now try it. It's like, well, I did it that way already. You know, you have to just keep doing it over and over. And sometimes it gets so emotionally exhausting because you're just doing so much. And you know, you're in this little room, it's hot, sometimes it's freezing cold. You can't move around a lot because you can't make a lot of noise. You know, because the mic will pick up any rustling you do. You can't have anything on you, no keys, no change. You know, one time my water bottle was like making this little air sound. You know, who could hear that, right? And they were like, we're hearing a weird, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's my water bottle. You know, stuff like that you have to be aware of. It's just crazy. Sometimes, you know, your mouth gets really mushy, and they have green apples in the booth. And if you bite a green apple and chew it, it takes that away. No other apple, a green apple. I do not understand it. But every studio you go in that's voice acting, there is a little bowl of green apples. For when, and they'll say, take a bite of the apple. You know, that kind of thing. So that's one thing you always have to watch with your when you're doing the voiceover. Also, popping peas is a big one, but of course they have that pea popper thing where sometimes, and when you scream, you can't scream directly into it because the sound guy will hate you. So a lot of times you have to, do it away from the microphone or back away. They'll want to get a level so you don't blow them out. And then learning how, even if you have to do a character that's afar, maybe the character's in the distance, but you're right there in front of the mic, but you have to do it like the character is 100 feet away or whatever, as opposed to being like right in front of your face. So there's all sorts of tricks and things to learn about doing that. But the more you do it, that's the cool thing, is the more you do it, the more experience you get. Not the easier it gets, but I think the more comfortable you are with, being able to do it. I mean, there's weird things that come up still that, how do you do that? That you have to do with your voice or things you didn't expect. So that's always the challenging part. And that's what I like, actually. I get surprised by something.
Never get.
Have you ever had to sing?
I have.
Yeah, tell me your name?
Brent.
Brent. We're taking names, Brent.
Okay.
I had to sing in a show called Eyes Pure, but it was like as a kid. It was when he was younger. It was like one of these romantic ones, and so it was kind of easy because I could just use sort of a little kid voice, and it didn't have to be pretty. Thank God, because you don't want to hear me sing. You don't want to hear me sing. But that's really been about it. So I would be afraid if I had to do a character that sings. I would be like, oh, you're kidding. Can't you get another actor to do the singing? So, one cool thing was, did you ever see Busu Rankin? Yeah, because I was in that show. I was Koji Rakamasu. He was one of the friends. He was the one, I think, had glasses. He could imitate voices. The weird thing was, so I could do my character, but the other actors had to do my lines. You know what I mean? Because my character is like imitating them, so the actors had to come in and do my lines. He was imitating them. So that was kind of fun. And I also like it sometimes when my characters are in a coma, because you get paid great, and you don't have to work. You go in and you do like 5 lines or something, and then your character's in a coma for several episodes, and you're still getting paid, and then he comes out and you come back and you do your work. But stuff like that's crazy, Anybody else? And what we're doing is, if you ask a question about anything with voice acting or any of the shows I've been in or whatever you want to ask, the origins of the universe, we'll write your name down and you'll have a chance to win a specialized Durarara postcard if you know the show. It's been on Cartoon Network, Adult Swim. So it's very, very, very good thing to win, right? She knows. Okay. Going to Durarara though. You're Erica, right? I just hit it. Erica, Kurosawa. Erica Kurosawa. I love that character. Bidoop, bidoop, bidoop. Can you do it? Put her on the spot. I love, that was one of my favorite shows, actually, Durarara, because it was so unique, just so different, and I got to be in a show with such great people like, do you guys know Johnny Young Bosch? Anybody? He was Isaiah. Crispin Freeman, anybody know him? Yeah, he's Shizuo, he's great in that role. Yuri Lowenthal, he was another great voice actor, and he was Shinra. Actually, I would have liked to do that role. That role would have been fun. Patrick Seitz was the black Russian sushi guy. Russian sushi. Kerry Walgren was Celty. Steve Blum was Dodojin. Spike Spencer, you guys know him? Yeah, he was one of the friends. So it was just, a great show of so many people in it, and even a lot of the big actors came in and would do some of the smaller roles, and even the little background voices, that kind of thing. So sometimes we do that too. We'll go in and we'll just be like man A, man B. I was a flying fish, in a show called I think it was Kamichu. I gotta remember. That was one that threw me, because they were like, okay, now you're this flying fish. I was like, what voice would I do for a flying fish? That was just never in my repertoire of voices, A bear, maybe a dog. Okay, flying fish. I don't even remember what I did. I have to find that anime and find it. So, or sometimes you'll be thugs or that sort of thing. But I also do like live action movies. I've dubbed like a Korean movie called Attack the Gas Station, which was like a popular comedy in Korea. I've done work with the background in movies. Like there was a TV movie called Red Water with Lou Diamond Phillips about a shark in fresh water. It was interesting. But I was all of Lou Diamond Phillips' fight scenes and like when he's coming out of water and when he gets stabbed. Because see, what happens is, he's a highly paid actor. So, and when you're filming live action stuff, you don't always get the sound. There could be something going wrong, or you're outdoors, so it's really hard to get. So they would need him to come back and add in those little things. Grunts, groans, fights, he gets stabbed in his arm, screaming. But he's too expensive for him to come back. So they hire other people. So I was his fight scenes. I was, when he gets stabbed, I'm like, ah! He's coming out of water. So I go to the screening, he's there. And that was the strangest thing, was to hear my voice come out of his body, rather than an anime character. So, that's the thing about acting too. There's so many different ways to make a living. You have to really be kind of smart about it and diversify. I do English language tapes for Korea. I've been doing that for years. So I don't want to go to Korea because they will hate me. When you're learning a language, you always hate that voice that's over and over and over again trying to make you learn that language. So I'll be walking down the street and I know that voice. Yeah.
This is probably ad stuff now, but like when you say you like have to jump out of water or something like
Yeah.
that, would you have to like get like a pitcher of water, like put your face in it or anything like that?
No,
or?
you just. How do you even explain how to do it? I can't even explain, because even when we're doing things where we have food in our mouth, we don't put food in our mouth. We're sliding down a hill. We don't really slide down a hill and vibrate. You just sort of learn tricks, and you just try to be creative with it. And I'm amazed sometimes how it works. Or like you're yawning, you had to talk when you're yawning. But and again, you're doing that, and you have to match the exact thing your character's doing. One of my favorite roles to do, it was a short role, but it was just a lot of fun, was, anyone see Paranoia Agent? See that one? Okay, I was, they had one episode where the women are coming together and they're gossiping about Little Slugger. And one of the things they're gossiping about is this kid who was studying for his exams. And, yeah, remember, I think it was Etc. was the scene. So he's studying for his exam, and then, as he's studying, what he studied pops out of his eye, like a little symbol, pi symbol or a mathematical symbol, and he's like, ooh! And he goes and he looks, and then he's in class, and he's starting to take his exam, and then he sneezes, so I'm like, and all the stuff he studied pops out of his nose, and bounces on his page, and then he's having, he's just having a total meltdown, he's freaking out. Then he has to go to the bathroom, and all the stuff that he has studied is just pouring out of, he's throwing it up and all this stuff. And he's trying to stuff it back in his face, because he's got to pass his exam. And so to match this emotional scene and, all this stuff at the same time, it was just, it was fun and it was challenging and it was just, I don't know, it was just cool to do. So stuff like that, odd stuff, is a lot of fun. Sometimes it's more fun than doing the main character, But of course I like doing the main character. You get a lot of work.